all are agree with me that IDEs are going to reduce the time required for development of project, so we can meet our deadlines. And another advantage of IDEs are we can concentrate on our logic. So the first I'm going to introduce is Qt Designer. Using Qt Designer, we can directly get those buttons like objects and in very less amount of time. So here we just only select dialog and we can create any type of widget using this Qt Designer. That code is automatically get created. Using Qt Designer, we can easily get different type of GUI according to our need. We use this tool for our project for Chitrashala, which is a player for theaters. With this Qt Designer, there is one more tool, Qt Assistant. It gives us all type of help for developing using Qt Designer. It is just like MSDN for Visual Studio. There is MSDN. Just like that, this Qt Assistant is very helpful for developing Qt applications. All this most of the KDE tools are developed in using Qt. Next, we are going to see KDevelop. This is one of the best IDE like Eclipse and like Visual Studio. Here IDEs are meant for editing the source code, compiling it, interpreting it and debugging it. All these facilities are available here. For our IT project, for developing the Chitrashala, we completely used all these KDE development tools. We are going to open new project. In this way, we can open our projects. All the files are open here in this box. Let's open one of it. Let's import dialog.cpp. Those Qt Designer files can be opened here also, and we can edit here all those designer file .ui files, user interface files. Here we can build the project, debug the project. We can add breakpoints. Just we have to click on that. Toggle breakpoint, and we can easily debug it. Also, we can add bookmarks in between the projects. That application is there are some errors, so it is not going to run that simple way. I am just demonstrating you how many facilities are there in KDE. So we can bookmark it also. Means all the facilities, all the tools you can use in any IDE. Those are available with KDevelop. The next, now the designing part is over, the development part is over. If you want to edit the source code, then there is very beautiful tool called KScope. It is not IDE. It is used for editing the source code. If there is a huge application like mPlayer, then we find it difficult to find some functions or files in between. So for that, that type of tool is very essential. Suppose we want to add some codecs in a code of mPlayer, as mPlayer is open source, then it is very easy by using this KScope. In this KScope, it is just a KDE application for cscope. We can fire queries on our code. Now there is one more tool in KDE desktop development. called Umbrello. Umbrello is specially made for creating UML diagrams. And all those UML diagrams we are made for our project documentation. We made in this tool. Here we can select our diagram, which type of diagram we want to select, class diagram, sequence diagram, collaboration, state chart, any type of diagram we can, and those diagram symbols, this bar get updated according to those diagrams, and we can easily draw those diagrams using those rules. We don't have to memorize those rules for UML diagrams. Those are automatically followed here. So this is the complete, by this presentation I want to give you the belief that you can completely develop your project in a K-desktop environment and without using, because as college students they avoid the Linux and try to use those proprietary softwares like Windows illegally. So instead of that, you can use easily, means using mouse only, you can create your project and develop it from scratch to complete documentation.